Welcome back to Canaries Walk. Hull City are in town this week, and the last time Norwich beat them, it was this man on the score sheet. But he's no more. So who is going to be putting the Tigers to the sword this weekend? Well, to discuss that, we've not only got four Canaries, but we've also got a Tiger to talk to us as well. Welcome to Where Canaries Walk. Yes, it's the quickest and most comprehensive review of all things Norwich on the internet. 20 minutes of Canaries chat every single week. We've got Jacob, Ollie, Owen and Matty with us, and we're going to bring in Ben, our Tigers fan, in a second as Norwich play Hull this weekend. We are recording this, of course, before the Leeds game. We can't comment too much on that, but we are going to review that derby result and those refereeing decisions in a couple of minutes. But before we get to it, how do we fancy our chances against Hull, Owen?
I'm confident at the moment, filled with it, but that's just based off the last couple of games.
We'll get our Tigers fan in a second. Oliver, this team look a bit on fire at the moment. There's not going to be many changes, I'd suspect, for either Leeds or Hull, are there?
Yeah, I'd hope not. I mean, we seem a bit unstoppable at the minute, so, let's just see how the run goes on.
Okay. We're asking you, we've got a little bit of a quiz. We're looking for those players that have played for both Norwich and Hull. DW, LS and TH. Can you name the players? And we'll ask these lot at the end of the video to see if they can grab it. DW, LS and TH, three players that have played both for Norwich and for Hull. Right, let's see if we can bring in Ben, who is from Let's Talk About the Tigers and, of course, our Hull podcast as well. Good evening, Ben.
Hi, are you all right? How are you doing?
Yeah, we're doing well. This should be 3 points for Norwich, shouldn't it, this weekend? You don't have a very good record at Carrow Road at all, do you?
Yeah, no, I was going to say that every time we go there, it always seems to be a big home win. So I'm not very confident, but would you a win? Would you a result at least?
Matty, there was an article, I think, I forget which paper or publication it was in at the start of the season, highlighting both your manager and, of course, Walter at Hull as being two of the most exciting additions to the Championship this season. I know which one I've enjoyed watching so far. What brand of football can we describe Norwich playing now, Matty?
It's football with purpose. It's possession based, but I've mentioned a few times on the podcast, but it's forward passes with intent. Not necessarily possession for possession's sake, but possession with the intention of doing something with it. On the flip side, I've seen a bit of Hull this season, and it is a little bit football by the seat of your pants. It's a bit hairy. It's a bit it's possession-based football, but it's a little bit more risky than it is watching Norwich. So it's going to be interesting to see how those two sort of fare up against each other, because Norwich is a little bit more reserved under Hoff Thorup. It's more progressive than it has been previously, but it's more reserved under Hoff Thorup than what I've seen from Hull. But it's going to be a fascinating fixture, I'm sure.
I genuinely think this could be a 4-4 or a 5-5 if we get the teams that we've seen so far. Ben, try and describe to the Norwich fans listening to this what sort of football you've been enjoying for the last 7 games.
Well, I'd go lightly on the term enjoying, but I think the identity is sort of similar to Norwich's, where it's fast moving. They want to get the ball forward quickly. It's just we've not quite been at that just yet. There's a lot of free movement from the centre half. So if you suddenly see Sean McLaughlin or Alfie Jones making a dart and run, that's the normal. That's what to expect from City. But yeah, it's going to be interesting because obviously with a game in midweek, there's quite a lot of fixtures in one space of 7 days. So might see a bit of rotation. I know we've got a couple injury doubts, but yeah, it should be an interesting game. I'll say that for least.
How did Norwich beat you then, Ben? What sort of approach should they take to it?
I think a high press seems to work quite well. I don't know if you guys will watch the the game against Sheffield United, but that's almost exactly what they did. A lot of the ball was in our defensive half, or our defensive third, actually. I think we had about 6% of it in the first 20 odd minutes. So a high press, because we like to keep the ball at the back and then build up with it. So yeah, high press in football, and you should be looking forward to some goals, I'd imagine.
Jacob, does that describe what you've been doing at home this season?
I'd say it's a bit similar to Hull, but it's mainly playing out from the back, fast-paced football, getting the ball to the wingers, like Borja Sainz, for example, Oscar Schwartau, maybe put some crosses in for Josh Sargent. But yeah, that's basically it, really. And then high pressing as well is something that we're trying to do. Doesn't always work, but yeah.
Okay. Let's do some score predictions, shall we? Owen, you take it for Norwich as you're at home.
I'm going to say 3-1 Norwich.
Okay. Expecting a bolder one, to be honest, Owen, but we'll take it. Ben?
Just to throw the cat amongst the pigeons, I'll go 2-1 away win, because we've not got a result there in a while. I think it's long overdue, so I've got my fingers crossed.
You are due one, aren't you? I can't believe Hull's record there is so bad. What is it about going to Anglia that you just don't like?
I don't know. I think it's Norwich are always they're always a good side. No matter who's in the team, they're always a threat to the top six. So they're consistently a strong team to play against, and obviously it's a big stadium, good atmosphere at home, so it's a tough one for an away side to go to, especially with such a long journey. But
okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly why, but we just can't seem to get a victory.
All right, Ben. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll wish you luck. We'll catch you on the whole podcast a little bit later on. Just before we finish on this one, this is the whole side that beat. So this is the Norwich side, that beat Hull last time out. In terms of strength, Oliver, is this a stronger Norwich side than the one we're currently watching, or not? And if not, what areas is it not as strong?
I would not say that's as strong as what we have right now, especially with the sort of chemistry we built up amongst our new players. I mean, honestly, Onel Hernandez in that team, that I think Borja Sainz is a quality player. He's probably levels above Hernandez, being harsh, but it's the truth. And look, Ashley Barnes obviously hasn't featured this season, and look, we haven't particularly missed him at all. So, yeah, I'd say the team we have now is definitely, I'd say it's a lot stronger than this.
Matty, would you agree?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of areas of weakness there. I think it's definitely Ben Gibson. I was never a huge fan of him, despite him being a fellow Teessider. This is the team that finished that game as well, isn't it? I think because Hernandez came on, I believe.
Yes, it was.
Or unless it's the home game. Are you referencing the home game or the away game, Mark?
This is the home game, yeah, where you beat them.
Okay, sorry, yeah. So that first game that season. Yeah. But no, I would totally agree with what Ollie just said there. I think this current team that we've got now, it's younger, it's quicker, it's fitter, and it's playing to an identity that a head coach wants. A philosophy that the head coach has. And everyone seems to be bought into it. So I would say this Norwich City team beats that previous Norwich City team.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for that. And thank you again, Ben. All right, then we're going to now look back at the Derby game and look back at some of the takes from social media. First of all, as a neutral, I loved that game. I think it had absolutely everything that you wanted. Controversy, great goals, great tackling, and played in the right spirits. But this is what social media said. Let's get your views on that Derby game. My favourite of all time was the Norwich admin who posted Borja's hat-trick gets us over the line. 10 out of 10, whoever the Norwich admin is. Well done. Paul Harrison says, yes, we had the look, but you need luck sometimes. Fantastic hat-trick by Sainz. Confidence sky high, bring on Leeds. Let's have a chat about the refereeing decisions in that game, and then I want you to have a discussion yourselves about who stood out as a player. Jacob, your goal shouldn't have stood, should it?
No. There's no way we can deny that. It was clearly off. But, it's EFL refs. What can you expect these days? We're going to get robbed by them at some point later in the season, I'd imagine. But, Derby came out unlucky on that match, having been disallowed. No, not disallowed, having been cheated with that one goal. And I say one goal because the Borja's third goal, the ball did not go out. Stacey did keep it in. In fact, I posted it on my Twitter, how I've got a frame of Stacey keeping it on the line just about. So, yeah.
It's one of those, isn't it? I think the commentator said if the linesman is on the opposite side, you can almost forgive it. But that assistant referee, whatever we're saying, is in line with that as Sargent takes the ball, and it's not even marginal. So it's absolutely criminal. For their goal, there was an offside decision, which I don't think the same linesman gave. I'm pretty sure one of their players is standing right in front of Gunn in an offside position when the shot is taken. Owen, what did you make of that?
Yeah, I mean, we've got the goal that counted for us, and if that wasn't going to happen, I don't think the offside goal should have counted. So it does balance it out, sort of thing. It would be both one chalked off.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that assistant referee is going to certainly get a demotion to somewhere. Okay, I'm going to let you four have a little chat then about the actual game itself and what your views on it were. Matty, kick us off.
Yeah, I think I tweeted very early on, probably 10, 15 minutes in the game, because I obviously seen us at a few away games and a couple of home games this season, but we seem to have got better every week. I don't know what you fellas think, but we've definitely looked like we've progressed week on week, and the way that we kept the ball and moved the ball yesterday at lunchtime, I thought it looked like it was clicking. I don't know about what you guys thought, whether you were there or you saw it on TV, but if that's a similar sort of opinion that you lads have, that we sort of seem like we're getting better week on week.
No, I completely agree with that. I mean, from Oxford to now, it seems like we've made so much progress. It's just, that's why I have so much confidence for Leeds. I just feel like we're really going to turn up, and I think we're ultimately going to win that game. So I think it's just going to get better every week from now on, hopefully.
I think if we improve week by week, as Oliver just said, we can easily stand up to Leeds, Sheffield United. We can easily get points there if we can keep up that level of football and progress.
Yeah,
I've said it a couple of times now. If we keep playing like this and going up in levels, we will be out by Christmas. I'm joking.
I love that. I think Cordova as well yesterday was amazing.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
There's a player, guys, that we've slated, I think, this year, which was all over social media in Duffy. My favourite was "There's no Duffy, there's no party." There's a couple here I wanted to get your views on, which basically said, Darren said, another great performance. He pairs better with Cordoba. Matthew King said, "Well played, Shane. Come on, admit it. Jose Cordoba is going to be a legend. Is a legend here." Do you think that partnership? Is now bearing fruit, Oliver?
Yeah, I would say so. I think because Cordoba's such a brilliant player, he actually makes Duffy look better. When Duffy's playing with better players, he doesn't make as many mistakes. He's not on the ball as much, and his aerial sort of dominance is a good quality to have in the Championship. So, yeah, I would say them two definitely our strongest centre-back pairing so far.
Okay. Owen?
I don't know if it's Shane Duffy stepping up more or if it's Jose Cordoba being able to bail Duffy out from his mistakes. They're not highlighted as much, but he does seem to play better, whether it's because of him stepping up or the other reason.
Okay. Do you look at the league table yet, Jacob, and get excited, or do you have a calmness about you, thinking we've been here before? It could all change very quickly, especially given that you've got Leeds and Hull in the space of 6 days.
I don't want to get my hopes up too much, but looking at how we play, we can definitely get playoffs this season. There's no doubt we should be up there. If it's playoffs or automatics, not so sure about automatics just yet, but playoffs is a definite for us.
Okay. We're doing defensive midfielders this week. We said we would. Let's ask for your opinions on this. Matty, in terms of the best two, if we're pairing them up, I know there might be some missing from this list actually. Who do you say is the strongest partnership?
Well, unfortunately, as is highlighted there, Sorensen's injured, and I believe Gibbs is also injured now for a decent amount of time. Now, neither of those would get in the starting 11 for me, and it is Nunez and McLean who've started as that two, as it were, and they are our best holding midfielders. I do maintain that we missed a trick, and maybe this is something for January. I can't really talk about January already, but for the winter transfer period, that we maybe look to bring in another holding midfielder. We've never replaced Tetty. We've never replaced Skip. So I wouldn't say no to a little bit of additional quality there, but for me, it's Nunez and McLean that start 99% of the time.
Okay, Oliver.
Yeah, I do agree with that. Look, I don't think Gibbs or Sorensen have the quality to be sort of where we want to be as a club. I think Slimane could definitely compete for that as well. His physicality. Nunez doesn't quite have that, but I think Nunez is passing, his just sort of composure on the ball. I think it's so integral to how we play.
All right. Thank you for that. One final one. It is October now, so we're obviously going to be asking you for your September player of the month. I'm sure there's a few you can put in this category. Should I ban you from choosing Sainz? No, go on. I'm going to have to let you put him in, given that we were slating him a couple of weeks ago on here. Jacob, start us off, please. Player of the month for September.
Gonna have to say Borja Sainz. He's our top scorer, really. So there's nothing else to say, really. And I'm gonna have to say second place, if we're doing that. Callum Doyle stood out in defence, put in some amazing blocks and interceptions. Key part to success.
Okay, Owen.
It's got to be Sainz just for how much he's stepped up.
Okay, dull but predictable. Fine. Oliver.
I'm going to be different. I'm going to go for Callum Doyle because I just think he's just been so solid. It's something we've missed for so long, and yeah, I just love him so much.
Okay. Don't fall in love with a lone player. You know what happens. You get your heart broken. Matty, solve this for us.
I've also thought, you said exactly what I was thinking, Mark. I've also fallen in love with the lone player. Callum Doyle, for me, he's head and shoulders above anyone in terms of consistency and professionalism, and he's still a young lad. And I know you probably won't have a future at Norwich City, and I mean that in a positive way for him. But he's been my player of the month for September. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Drop your comments below if they missed any. I'm sure they have. But we'd love to hear from them. Okay. Players that have played for Norwich and Hull. Did you get any? Let's go back and have a quick look. Shout them out. DW, anyone?
DW. I struggled. The only ones that sprung to mind for me were Robbie Brady, David Marshall. Must be obviously Abu Kamara right now, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyone else get these?
Well, these are really from before some of you were born. But DW, Dean Windass, a loan spell at Norwich in 2011, 2001. Sorry, and TH is Tom Huddleston. Okay, and LS you can put in the comments below if you can grab it. Right, did you get any more? Thank you very much for watching. We will catch you next week where we'll review, of course, we'll review the Leeds game, and of course we'll review the whole game with these four as well. Thank you very much for watching the quickest and most comprehensive review of Norwich on the internet. We'll catch you next week. Have a good one.